Tennessee in 10 minutes. Tennessee in 10 is made possible by Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. Today, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is going to be in Nashville to talk about ICE arrests that have been happening in Tennessee. She's holding a news conference and says she'll talk about the arrests of the, quote, worst of the worst criminals in the country illegally. Noem also had a news conference at BNA yesterday, Nashville's airport, talking about the new Honor Lane, which is a special expedited security line for members of the U.S. military. But that was overshadowed with questions about how the administration is handling ICE enforcement in Nashville and across the country.
I want to get answers from my constituents who've been harassed and who've been brutalized by ICE here in Nashville.
Representative Justin Jones says he showed up to Noem's press conference intending to listen and ask questions about ICE detentions in Nashville. He was allowed in by both airport officials and police, but DHS personnel turned him away because they said he was not invited and did not RSVP. During the news conference, Noem spoke about the latest updates to airport security and then also faced questions about immigration enforcement, including about recent deportation flights, sending immigrants to third-party countries like El Salvador and South Sudan.
And what are you doing to make sure that the entire deportation process is humane, both while they're being deported here and once they get...
I wish one of you today would have asked about some of the families that actually lost somebody because of an illegal criminal.
But do you believe they should be treated humanely?
I think everybody's being treated humanely. Absolutely. Once they are out of the United States, it is not our responsibility to make sure that we have jurisdiction over them.
Noem is set to speak about this again at 10 o'clock this morning. That's Central Time. Two former Memphis police officers are now no longer allowed to work as law enforcement in the state of Tennessee. Ali Ba is accused of inappropriately touching a 15-year-old girl. Ba denied fondling the girl, but admitted to touching her face to comfort her while she was crying. He resigned March 21st. The Memphis Firefighters Association is suing the city over pay raises the union says the city agreed to. The city decided last month to a lower pay raise for the firefighters than previously agreed upon. The agreed raise was 5%, but the city approved 3%. The union says 80 firefighters have left the department due to better pay in suburban cities. A senator from Tennessee is calling for a crackdown on some weight loss drugs. Senator Marsha Blackburn and Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti sent a letter to the Federal Trade Commission. They want the FTC to investigate online marketing for GLP-1 drugs, which have been advertised as alternatives for Ozempic and Wegovy. Lawmakers say the ads are misleading and putting people's health at risk. Powerful storms brought down power poles in parts of Memphis yesterday. Look at this mess. That pole appeared to have fallen right on top of a car. A burst of heavy rain and winds at speeds of 40, 50 miles an hour caused power lines to fall. And in Covington, the police department shared pictures of flooding in parts of the city there yesterday. Covington Public Works crews had to clear the streets and also clogged storm drains. First Alert meteorologist Melanie Layden joining us now with a look at the forecast where you live. A lot of heat out there today.
A lot of heat, and we also could see a couple of isolated showers and storms. Now, it's been pretty dry across really the whole state here this morning, but as we get into this afternoon with that daytime heating and humidity, some showers and thunderstorms will be possible really for anyone today, all the way from West Tennessee out to East Tennessee. I think Nashville gets kind of most of the rain today, especially during the afternoon, but you'll be one of the lucky ones if you do get a quick shower or thunderstorm. It'll help cool you off from all this heat and humidity. Now, most of the showers and storms start to diminish as we head into tonight. We're still going to keep a few of them back here closer toward Knoxville, even as we head into later this evening for any Friday night plans. Next week, Monday through Thursday, First Alert weather days for the extreme heat and humidity making a big return to not just Middle Tennessee, but really everyone across the state feeling the heat. It gets dangerously hot and humid in some spots, even up to about 110 degrees for that feels like temperature. Where it's going to be the worst is going to be out here in West Tennessee and western Middle Tennessee. That's where our heat index values will be over 105 degrees, even over 110 in some spots. Where it's not going to be as hot, but still pretty toasty, is going to be out in East Tennessee, where that heat index value will be near 100 for the next several days.
All right, good heads up there, Melanie. Thanks. A Tennessee man out for a jog went into cardiac arrest, but then a stranger showed up right on time. And now the way that he is thanking that stranger is getting a lot of attention. We're going to take a look at that when we come back. The University of Memphis athletics program announced that demolition has started in preparation for the Eliza Fletcher Stadium. Nearly a year ago, the university announced it would dedicate its new soccer and track facility to Eliza Fletcher. Fletcher was kidnapped while on a morning jog near the University of Memphis in September of 2022. The mother of two, her body was found days later by Memphis police, and a criminal case followed that.
I'm Whitney Turner in the WVLT newsroom. A special message of gratitude on a greenway from a Knoxville man who says a total stranger saved his life. Rodney Lee said he was going for a run when he noticed something was wrong. That's when he realized he was having a heart attack. While calling 911, Lee says a man named Zach jumped in to help, walking the operator through the situation. To show his gratitude, Lee put a sign in the same spot where he nearly died. And while the message was meant for Zach, Lee hopes his story can inspire others.
It's a universal message about kindness in this world, and that's what I hope that this story can convey, is that it was an act of kindness between two humans.
Now, Lee says he is fully recovered from his heart attack and is back to being active. Back to you.
All right, we have breaking news for Big Orange fans across the entire state. You're about to get a front row seat on game day without ever having to leave your couch. WSMV, along with our sister stations in Knoxville and Memphis, are the official stations of the Tennessee Volunteers. That means more access to the players, to the coaches, to the action. We're talking live shows from Neyland Stadium and on the road before kickoff that you can watch on the Tennessee Valley Sports Network. The show will take you along for iconic moments like the Vol Walk with voice of the Vols Mike Keith and former quarterback Heath Schuler as your hosts. By the way, we did this for years in Knoxville, so now we're just expanding this across the state and giving a way for everyone to be able to watch this. There's going to be even more sports programming from Tennessee coming this fall to keep you connected to Rocky Top. We've got a link in our app right now explaining how to watch and follow along as we make more big announcements about connecting Vol Nation across all of Tennessee. All right, thanks for